All right, everybody. Here we are at the start of the second season. So the first thing that we're going to do is check out the standings out east. In a stunning turn of events, the Miami Heat are the number one seed in the East after signing Drew Holiday. They also have Devin Booker and Scotty Barnes to round out that lineup. Chicago is at number two with their good lineup of Jarrett Allen, Joel Embiid, and Lonzo. The Knicks are coming in at number three this year after signing Pascal Siakam. They have a very solid starting core. And then they also have Scoot Henderson. The Nets are going to be at the 4 seed with Gideon Middleton, so that's also a little bit of a surprise. The Bullets are going to be at the 5 seed. Halliburton improved over a lot over the offseason. They also have a fantastic starting 5, all in the mid to upper 80s. The Pistons are going to be coming in at number 6 with Jimmy and Kyrie. At 7, we have the Bucks, then the Pacers, the Cavs, and the Raptors to round out the play-in. And then some of the other lower teams who are going to be hoping for a good lottery pick. Out west, we have the Utah Jazz in the 1 seed with Brunson and Mobley. Mobley, who improved a lot over the offseason. And in the 2nd seed, we have the Hawks, who made that Jaylen Brown trade. They also have Maxey and Wemby. And the 3rd seed is also a little bit of a surprise. The Wolves remain strong despite CJ McCollum declining a lot. The Spurs, the reigning champs, are going to be in the 4 seed with Ben Simmons, MPJ, Donovan, and Draymond, as well as Kristaps Porzingis. The 5 seed is the Young Warriors with Tatum and Towns. 6th place, we have the Suns with Luka and Ivy. And in 7th place, we have the Pels. 8th is the Blazers. 9, we have the Thunder. 10 is the Lakers. A little bit of a surprise that this team didn't perform better after all of the aggressive moves that they made with 98 overall Anthony Davis, but maybe it was just a little bit of a fluke. And then we have the 2 worst teams in the league here, the Nuggets and the Mavericks, who both only have 6 wins. So those are definitely looking like those are going to be the top 2 teams. The bottom 2 teams in the league. The next thing that we'll go ahead and do is take a look here at the league leaders. So leading the league in points is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with Devin Booker in 2nd. Ingram, who's been great at scoring in this sim, is going to take 3rd place. And we have Brunson and Porzingis to round out the top 20. In terms of rebounding, our leading rebounder is once again, as expected, Victor Wembanyama, who's averaging 14.5 rebounds again. Anthony Davis, who with his overall boost is at number 2. Mobley at 3. Andre Drummond for the Knicks, still grabbing a lot of rebounds there at number 5. And then we have Jokic, who is averaging a couple less assists than last season. He's still playing very well, though. Josh Giddey, though, almost averaging a triple-double. That's pretty impressive for Josh Giddey. As we go over to the assist leaders, Halliburton is leading the league in assists again this year, but we have a few guys grabbing over 10 assists a game, including SGA. Scoot Henderson is already putting up 7.1 assists per game. In terms of steals, here are your steals leaders, Jimmy Butler and LaMelo. Actually, that's Lonzo taking the top of the steals. In terms of blocks, you have Robert Williams actually edging out Wemby this year, which is kind of impressive. For turnovers, SGA is turning the ball over the most. And then for field goal percentage, Robert Williams looks to be shooting the best in the league. And then we'll also do 3-point percentage here. Some of the best 3-point shooters. It's looking like Devin Booker, Clarkson, Cade Cunningham. Some guys that you would expect to be on this list. CJ McCollum still shooting the ball very well. Seth Curry. The next thing that I will do is show every single team's stats. And I will sort it by points per game here. So for the Sixers, Banchero is actually averaging more points per game than Kawhi. And I'll go ahead and scroll over to 3-point percentage here just so everyone can see. For the Bucks, we have LaMelo averaging the most points per game. Also, a lot of good 3-point shooters on Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee has the best offense in the league, and also like the worst defense in the league. So that's pretty crazy. Some well-balanced scoring here for the Bulls, though. Oops, scrolled over a little too far. For the Cavs, it looks like Jokic is leading them in scoring. What am I doing? Trying to get back over to three-point percentage. Okay. Yeah, Jokic is leading the Cavs. That's no surprise. Zion is leading the Celtics, with Harden also probably scoring a little less than you'd want from him, but he is dishing out 10 assists per game, which is pretty good. For the Clippers, they acquired Stephen Curry, who's putting up 23.7 points per game. That's not too bad. For the Grizzlies here, I believe Morant is their leading scorer. Jaylen Brown leading the way for the Hawks, with Wemby in third behind Maxey, but a couple of big scores there. Nice trio. For the best record in the league, the Heat, we have Booker and Scotty Barnes scoring a lot. So maybe Scotty Barnes is actually good in this roster that we downloaded. That would be crazy. For the Jazz here, we have Brunson and Mobley, the best team out west. For the Kings, Anthony Edwards is leading the way for them. He developed a lot over the offseason. For the Knicks, we have Cade, RJ, Siakam, and Scoot leading the way, along with Bridges. For the Lakers, Anthony Davis is putting up some pretty impressive numbers, shooting almost 60% from the field. I'm surprised that team doesn't have more wins, like I said. For the Magic, it looks like they have a couple of guys putting up more than 20 points per game. For the Mavs here, who's their leading scorer? Sexton, I believe. Mavs only have, Ingram. Mavs only have 6 wins, though. The Nets have a guy shooting almost 50% from 3, Chris Middleton. That's pretty insane. For the other 6-win team, the Nuggets, Damian Augustine, who was the #1 pick, is putting up 13.9 per game. Not playing probably quite as well as you would like to see from him, although you will cut him some slack because he's only a 76 overall. Giannis leading the way for the Pacers here, although they could probably use a little more three-point shooting to help Levine. The Pelicans have Bridges leading the way, who they acquired in that trade, where they gave up Curry. For the Pistons, it's Jimmy and Kyrie. You'd probably like to see Jimmy scoring a couple more points per game. A lot of this might have to do with the amount of minutes that these guys are playing. Probably keeping the load light for some of these guys early in the year in order to keep them rested for the playoffs. Jalen Green and Trae Young are leading the Rockets, though. Trae shooting an insane percentage from 3, almost 50%. For the Spurs, we have Jordan Clarkson, who's almost shooting 50% from 3. So some great three-point shooters in the league right now. Luka obviously shooting it fantastic from 3, as well as the rest of this entire Suns team. Fox is leading the way for the Thunder, who are performing pretty good this season. And then for the Wolves, who are, I believe, the 3 seed out west, you have Dame leading the way with 26 points per game. And Kenrich Williams is shooting almost 50% from 3. Garland is also shooting it well from 3, as is Cam Whitmore. A lot of great three-point shooters in the league right now. For the Warriors, you have Tatum leading the way. He is averaging only 22 a game, but he's only playing 30 minutes, so perhaps that's not too much of an issue. And then finally for the Wizards, you have the league's assist leader in Halliburton, who's leading the way for them in scoring as well. And then you have DeAndre Ayton, who's shooting almost 50% from 3. I would love to see how many shots that's on, though, because probably not that many. I guess the next thing that I will go ahead and show here is everyone's contract extensions. So if you have a player who's willing to re-sign, I'll show them now. It looks like Hassan Whiteside is willing to re-sign for the Milwaukee Bucks. Jarrett Allen, Lonzo, and Lamb are all willing to re-sign for Chicago. Chris Paul is willing to re-sign for the Cavs. Marcus Smart for the Celtics. Favors and Payton for the Clippers. No one for the Hawks. Hernan Gomez for the Heat. 3 guys here for the Hornets. 4 guys here for the Jazz. Collison, Robinson, Isaac, and Brunson. Glad to see Brunson willing to re-sign there. Nobody for the Kings. Nobody for the Knicks. Nobody for the Lakers. Simons is willing to re-sign for the Magic. Looks like he's expecting about $30 million a year. Nurkic is willing to re-sign here for the Mavs. So is Dwayne Dedmon for the Nets. A few guys here. Good news for the Pacers. It looks like Giannis is willing to re-sign on a good $54 million, so he won't test free agency. Beal's willing to re-sign, but he wants a lot of money. I'm not sure I'd pay him that much if I was the Pelicans. Gordon will re-sign for the Pistons. That's good news for them. A few guys here for the Raptors. A lot of older guys, though. It looks like nobody for the Rockets. Mitchell and Porzingis, as well as their good three-point shooting, and Clarkson are all willing to re-sign, so that's good news for the Spurs. Bagley is willing to re-sign for the Thunder. McCollum will resign, and he only wants 4.22, so the Wolves might take advantage of that offer. Collins, Pope, and Fournier for the Blazers. Tatum looks like he's going to test free agency. He wants $60 million, so maybe it's smart of him to test that market. And then same thing with Ayton. It looks like he's going to test free agency. Next thing that I will go ahead and show, I guess, is the available free agents right now for those of you that are still looking to offer people. I know some teams like the Nuggets still have a lot of money remaining, so I'll just show them from this screen. DeRozan and D'Angelo Russell are obviously like the 2 prize guys who are still out there. Vanderbilt's a great role player, so is Tucker, and a couple of these other guys, Watford and Smith, Zeke Naji, Boston, and then we start to get down into the guys that might not be worth it unless they're on the younger side. What I might start doing is scrolling a little bit, and then I might also just sort by age and start showing some of these younger guys in case people want to try to sign them instead. So here is some of the youngest people that are available free agency. You can see their overall and how much money that they're asking for, in case you want to take advantage of these people who will all still probably progress fairly well. So I guess I'll go until we hit the 22-year-olds.